Good day, welcome. This is your Daily Med with Lady V. Grace, peace be multiplied. Today we are looking at Hezekiah's letter in 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 14 through verse 19. When we look at King Hezekiah in this instance, Hezekiah, the king of Judah, was in despair. He sent to Isaiah to seek the Lord. Isaiah gave him reassurance of what God said would happen. And then we will see where King Hezekiah spent some alone time with God, spreading this letter that the king of Assyria sent him before God. So in despair Hezekiah was because of this siege. And so we know that Hezekiah sent to Isaiah, urging him, prophet, man of God, seek God on Judah's behalf. So Isaiah the prophet did, and he sent back to the king a reply that God had told him this Assyrian siege would fail and that King Sennacherib would die. Why? Because God gave Isaiah assurance that he would put a spirit of fear upon the Assyrian king and cause him to hear a rumor, and he would be returned to his own land where he would be slain. And so Isaiah sent this word to the king. With the odds so greatly in the Assyrian favor, only a miracle could produce such an outcome. But you and I know that God is a God of miracles. And so when the Assyrian king threatened King Hezekiah and Judah, they were told they were next in line for an attack. But God would prove to his people that they were next in line for a miracle. Today, are you in despair? Today, are you feeling threatened by all kinds of circumstances in life? Rest assured that you are not alone, but God has an answer, a word for you, that you are next in line for a blessing, for a miracle. And so, in desperation, we see Hezekiah crying to God, praying a prayer for deliverance. After the tauntings towards Judah, the king himself now sent a letter to the other king, who is Hezekiah, once again mocking Judah, mocking their God, saying that they have thrown all the other gods into the fire because they were made of wood and stone, not realizing that they were about to fight against the one true and living God. One God, this nation's God, were not like the other gods that were idols. And so, because the other nations had fallen to this king, this Assyrian army, he was in his might, his pride, his pomp, his pride, and wanting to come now to attack Judah. So Hezekiah took this letter and he laid it out before the Lord in a contrite prayer, acknowledging the greatness of God. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 14 through 19. And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. Then Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord God of Israel, the one who dwells between the cherubs, you are God, you alone. All of the kingdoms of the earth, you have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to reproach the living God. Truly, Lord, the king of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were not gods, but the works of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they destroyed them. Now therefore, O Lord our God, I pray, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you are the Lord God, you alone. So Hezekiah wisely took the letter to the temple and spread it before the Lord. The prayer was a revelation of his deep trust in God, the God of Israel, the one who delivered before, will do it again. What happened? Hezekiah got alone with God as soon as he read the letter. And we sing oftentimes, there are days I like to be all alone with Christ my Lord. I can tell him of my troubles all alone. Yes, Hezekiah was in despair. But we do know that some of the most effective prayers in times in our lives are the ones spent alone with God. Jesus, by example, showed us that it is important, it is vital to spend time alone with God and to be in a habit of continuously entering his presence, where we receive comfort, healing, deliverance, refreshment, just about whatever we need when we go into his presence. When Jesus started his earthly ministry, it was after he spent 40 days and 40 nights alone in the desert with God, his Father. This was his preparation time, where he could hear the voice of God, where he could be still in God's presence, a time of listening to the counsel of God, and a time to gain strength that would launch him into his calling and ministry. And of course, this is the reason why he came into the world. Similarly, God has a calling upon my life. He has a calling upon your life. That is why we have to receive, that is why we have received salvation, and why Christ has been revealed to our hearts. So in order for us to live according to God's calling and election, we must spend quality time, alone time with God. When we do, He will teach us, He will strengthen us, He will build us up in the faith and make us strong. We will have an unshakable relationship with Him, a relationship of trust, just like the King with the Almighty. We must know Him personally. We must know Him intimately more than anybody else in our entire life. God bless you. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. It is free. Please like. Please share. Please also leave a comment and continue to visit my YouTube channel, Daily Med with Lady V.